Opa! Welcome everybody to Stavvy's World. 904-800-STAV. Call in. We'll solve all your problems. We're pumped. We got Paul Scheer on the couch, dude. Thank you for coming, dude. We're huge fans, big fans.
I am a big fan of yours. I'm excited to be in the apartment.
Thank you. Yes,
and I think I have, and people don't realize this, but I have the best view of this.
Of Fat David.
Yeah.
Really His cheeks are out. No, everyone doesn't know. It's not, it exists in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, buns out, sun's out, or whatever. I went to Italy a handful of years ago. I say it recently because I have kids and everything is out off.
Within the
kids
decade.
And COVID, I'm like, I don't know, was it 6 months or 5 years?
Yeah.
But what I was amazed at is when you do look at these sculptures, everyone is rocking. We're seeing abs. We're seeing ass. We're seeing ball sack.
Yeah.
They're every detail.
The detail in nuts is crazy.
It really is.
Like you see a little vein. You see a little. It's crazy. I mean,
it really is. It's like I'm impressed, and God bless our sculpture artists. And we should be getting back to that.
Let's get back to it. A ripple. I love seeing like this. Like we should. What you know where we could. Our society could compete with these greats. Wet T-shirt contests. Because like then the ripple of the wet T-shirt, they didn't have that shit. Ancient Rome had never created that.
Yeah, it's something. Someone's getting wine on themselves.
You're probably right. You're right.
You know, they just didn't know how to capture it.
They didn't know how to capture it. And that's, have we ever had like a rock hard nipple underneath a wet tunic? I don't think so.
I mean, that's what we need. By the way, there's one artist didn't get any respect. A bunch of people in tunics on the back of like a chariot, like hauling ass.
I want to see dick print in a tunic. Until we see that, we have a chance to compete with the great masters. So for our sculptor listeners out there, our sculptor viewers, get sculpted.
Show us good taint. Show us good nip.
Show us hog.
Show us a nice dick outline.
Yes. Yeah, outline. Maybe only half of it. Maybe half the print. I'm not going to tell you how to do your job.
You do it your way.
Thanks for coming, man. Yeah, like I said, fans since the Human Giant days, the League, all that stuff for real. So super pumped to have you here. Read the book.
Oh, wow.
Listen to the book.
That's great. That counts as reading.
Yeah.
I do a lot of listening. But it's true. It's like, honestly, why are we holding ourselves to this higher standard? It's like,
totally.
Yeah. So you listen.
Especially, no disrespect, it ain't Ulysses.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's fun stuff,
but even if it is, it's like, listen to it. That's how we do. This is our world, is oral tradition.
Yes.
We didn't we're sitting around a fire.
You're right. Homer, wow, we're really sucking off the Greek age right now. Between the oral tradition and sculptors. Hell yeah, dude.
But no, I tried to make that book fun too, because I love audiobooks and I listen to it. So I'm like, I'll try to add different shit to it to make it a little fun, pop it.
It's cool when it's somebody who's entertaining. That's doing it,
trying to make it like I treat it like a show, like a thing, it's like a performance. Yeah.
It should be either you or like do it the opposite, where it's like way too stately. Yeah. You get like Ian McKellen.
Yeah, just
you know what I mean?
Brian Cox reading it. It's like me.
Yeah.
Oh man,
and then I went to Times Square and watched pornography.
I cheated a lot. Well, I cheat a lot, but I would
on your wife.
My wife. Oh my! Are these cameras on? Oh no! When I was in NYU. I was a communications major, which really shows I really cared about what I was studying.
You're talking to a political science and media major over here.
This is what we're talking about.
Never finished my degree. I don't know if you did.
I did quick. I got out in 3 years. I was let's go. I was touring at that point. So I was going around.
That's so fucking funny to be like, all right, whatever I got to do to get through this bullshit.
Stamp the diploma and so. But one of my projects was I went to NYU, we had to renovate pitch a new idea on how to do like class registration, because back then you have to call and then type in your class number. It was like,
that's insane.
This is like, it was right on the cusp of internet. Like I had internet, but no one was incorporating it in.
So what are we talking? You were talking dial up.
It was even like you just call and be like 4795.
No, but I mean internet. We'll get back to your story, but what are we
AOL, AOL's happening, dial-up is happening. I think I plugged in. At NYU, I think I plugged in at that point, but no one was using email.
How old were you until you jacked off to the internet, would you say?
Oh, my God.
That's interesting.
Say, That's a really interesting question, right? Because it's like I came up in a world where I literally found a penthouse, a penthouse air freshener on the side of the
you're
road.
jacking off to an air freshener?
I found a penthouse air freshener.
What happens if you get that scent now? Your dick gets hard?
Cherries make me go crazy. But
fuck! Don't put this guy around a maraschino. This fucking guy can't have a Shirley Temple without jizzing in his pants.
I go to car washes. I get so hard. Evergreen, coconut.
Oh fuck, dude.
But
wow.
So we had to pitch this idea. So I had a friend who did a good Christopher Walken impression, and I hired him. I told him, "Hey, can you record the new voice for the automated system?"
Yes.
And we did it, and then I just lied in class. So I know Christopher Walken. I got him to record this thing.
That's incredible.
And we did it, and we got an A+ in this exam. And it was all just because we had a guy just going "Hey, this is hit the A. Don't do that." But I always feel guilty about that. But I was like,
wow.
It did that one, it was
that gravitas.
The gravitas.
That Christopher Walken gravitas. That fake Walken.
Thank you. I don't even do a good Christopher Walken. Just the idea of just do it it does. It levels you up. You have a little something like Brian Cox, McDonald's
would be huge. Oh yeah,
yeah, right. I mean, McDonald's is the best spokesman of all time.
It's smart.
They should have replaced that guy, the child pornography guy from
Jared.
Subway. Jared with Brian Cox.
That'd be good. Yeah. Put him in the big jeans.
Yeah, I get it.
I used to be fat as shit, but I never made a child give me head. Maybe not so on the nose for them, but I would be nice to see him in the big jeans. But so that I love that NYU was just like, yeah, your project is make our system better. It's you were just doing work for them.
It was so weird because that class in particular was a weird class setup. I think back on these things.
Yeah.
It's like,
what was the class even?
It was oh God, a communications class. So some bullshit title, but the premise of the class was he would give you a personality profile. The teacher was. And then he was going to split up the class, and you could have one of 4 options. You get put into groups, do 2 projects, and and each time you do a project, to be a different type of group. So the first group a group would be everybody you hate.
Oh, wow.
People that you work well with but don't get along with. So it's like good work friends but not friends.
Right.
And then one would be you get along so well but you get nothing done.
You don't get anything done, yeah.
And so you never knew what you had. And so when we got into the group of we get along, we won't get anything done, I was in there with I remember that there's a girl in that class. I was so attracted to her, but she was also, she smelled like liquor at 10 a.m. all the time. I was like, this is who I want to be with.
She's 20, maybe 19.
Yeah, 19, 20. Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, dude.
I'm like, this is the best. But nothing ever got, but it was still, it's like, oh, she's the coolest. But I realized I'm in the group of the partiers, the fun people, and we're not going to do it. And that was like my impetus, be like, we're going to buck this.
We're gonna beat the nerds.
We're gonna beat them.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get my friend to record this Christopher Walken thing, and we did it. And that was the thing. Yeah. We didn't really do any work. We just had Christopher Walken impression, and people are like, "Oh, that is work."
I love. Yeah, that's so funny because I love it because all that also presupposes that your teacher's dumb codification system even made sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like what the fuck does he know?
Yeah, it's like so college and wonderful, but it's also the dumbest thing. What am I learning from this? Like nothing. I'm not. It's him. He's doing the experiment.
Of course, he's just fucking around. He's trying to get through. He didn't give a fuck. He's a communications professor.
That's it. I mean, look.
What was NYU like at the time? Was it because I remember you said, is it true that you literally chose it because Theo Huxtable went to NYU?
100% true. Not a joke, not an exaggeration.
Were you like what were you in school? You were an okay student?
Like, I was okay. I was an okay student, right? But I didn't have any passion. Like, I feel like I was growing up on Long Island, and it was like, everyone's like, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm going to do this. And I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be in comedy. I was trying to do that, but not really. I don't know how to do that. I don't have my family that's doing that. No one's showing me the way. And I think I was so focused on I want to be this other thing that I wasn't thinking about, well, what colleges? Like college, and my parents were going to pay for me to be an actor.
Right.
So there, like, it came time, like, well, where do you want to go? And I was like, I don't know. And they're like, well, you got to pick something. Then I was like, it's so much work to apply to college.
Yeah, it is.
And I was like, I don't want to do all that. I don't even want to go to college. And then one night I was watching The Cosby Show, and Theo Huxtable was like, Dad, I got accepted to NYU. And I was like, that's where I'm going. And I never
fucking
talked about
insane.
it. And he went for education, so I went under the educate. I was like, I went full Theo Huxtable.
That's crazy.
For no reason.
Yeah.
And like they were like, why? And I'm like, hey, Theo did it. Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's crazy also my parents didn't like drill down. Like,
They were like,
what are you
come
going
on.
there for? Like, why? Like,
And you went for education. Had you ever seemed like you wanted to do that?
I don't even know what that degree gets you. Like, I feel like you go to education for 4 years and then you take another.
Yeah,
you go to grad school and figure out what you want to be.
While you also teach and shit like that.
Yeah,
it's dumb as hell for sure.
It's like and there was not much like it wasn't even communicating. It was like really, literally like talking. Like it wasn't like I was learning like radio or television. It was like so base.
Holy shit, Paul, you know what time it is? It's time to
keep it twisted.
That's right. Time to keep it twisted from our friends at Twisted Tea. What a beverage, Paul, my friend. Twisted Tea is a refreshing hard iced tea made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol. It tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real tea. 5% by volume, a little kick, you know what I'm saying? Full of flavor, very refreshing, goes down smooth as hell, no carbonation, easy to drink all day long no matter where you are. You're hanging with the boys, you're hanging with the fellas, you're out on a romantic date with your sweetheart. You guys are drinking Twisted Teas, like it's a champagne flute at a wedding. Whatever it is, Twisted Tea is there for you, okay? So remember, here's what I want you to do. Grab a refreshing Twisted Tea today and
keep it twisted.
Yeah.
I had a great time. I got in and out in 3 years. But I was touring around because the fun thing about NYU was
you're in the city. You're in Manhattan.
In the city. And I only went to school 4 days a week because they were off on Fridays.
Wow.
So I would tour around the country doing this group called Chicago City Limits, which was like we were talking right before we started recording about like touring. Like, there's no good version of touring.
Yeah, touring's bad.
But I definitely had the worst version of touring. I was with this like off-Broadway improv show that was very much like Who Signs It Anyway? Like every time a bell rings, we're going to change what we said. And we were doing...
You do the arm thing? You do the arm behind thing?
We did the professor where we would all be... We put on a giant suit so we foreheads. So it's like, ask us whatever. And it's like, I went to the store and I bought a... And at that time I was like, I'm making art. You're like, fuck you. Look at me. I am the best.
I'm in show business, baby.
And it would always be like, now we're going to do a scene in Shakespeare. Like, where art thou, 7-Eleven? And people are like, and you'd often do these shows where, like, and look, I was doing these shows, and they weren't like nice venues.
Sure.
They were like, look, I went.
Yeah, where are we playing? Where's the Chicago City Limits playing?
I'm playing a lot of community arts centers.
Okay.
And
the rec room of them, or did you get into the theater?
We were in small theater. Like I remember one play. We were in North Carolina one time. We did like a song parody, and I dressed as a woman in the song parody. And they were like, "You can't come back tomorrow night." We had a week long run. They're like, God. No men dressing as women. You done. My God. And we're like, whoa! I thought North Carolina was progressive. I didn't know. So we got kicked out of that. I remember that.
Insane. By the way, sorry. The idea that. That corny ass improv was too dangerous for somebody.
Me in a wig, like singing a song about being Janet Reno. I think. Like, come on, it wasn't like a sex song. It was like my pussy and my tits. It was nothing. And,
that's so fucking funny.
I was just talking about this a little while ago. We would do a lot of bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs.
Oh, okay, wow. So this is like PG.
Oh yeah, sometimes we would always be kind of clean, ish, right?
Yeah.
But then they would, we'd be like, hey, we need a profession, and people would be like, proctologist, and then you'd be like, all right,
here we go.
Here's some butt jokes.
Here's the good stuff.
But we would just do we would just hole up. But I didn't know, like,
And you're like, how old are you? 19?
I'm 19. I'm not drinking. Like,
And how old are these people? How old are the people in this
everyone
troop?
else there is all older than me. They're all drinking. They're like,
Yeah,
they're doing
yeah,
all,
yeah.
not drink, like, not like, but just to be like, I couldn't drink.
Of course.
Couldn't, you know. So I was much more like the college kid. I liked different stuff. I had different reference points,
Yep.
you know.
Are you bunking? Is it like a double tree with 2 beds?
This is what I was going to tell you.
Yes.
So, like, a majority of my life, I go with the flow. Like, you bring me to places, I'm like, I got it.
Yeah.
And then only years later do I realize, oh, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
Right? You know, right? Like, you know, like
Absolutely.
in the moment, you know, I'm getting $150 per show, which is
Not bad.
Not bad.
Honestly,
not bad.
not bad.
Right? You know, and then we would be, you know, we'd only be in a minivan all the time. Like, so we're always, not minivan, but
packed.
16 pass. A 16 pass van
yes,
for your loading
the Sprinter,
in.
and every seat has a bag or a person.
Yes,
in it.
and it's like a piano is like wedged in the back. You know, we're driving. Our tour manager's on the road, and you know,
got your Ross Perot wig in there
ready to
somewhere.
go.
Yeah,
You know, I did not have sex with that woman. You know, so doing all this dumb shit. But the worst moment. This is like truly like the thing I think back on. There's like moments. So I'm in the, you know, we're in like. You said DoubleTree.
Yeah.
I view DoubleTree as being a classy
Sure.
I feel like we were like in
Nights
a
in.
step up from like a motel to like between whatever is between those two.
Absolutely. I know
you
well.
Paper
listen.
mats instead of like, right?
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
And I remember one morning I was bunking with my friend, two singles or 2 doubles, whatever it is. And I have never felt this before, but I heard him jerking off.
No.
Next to me. Right.
And how old is this guy?
This guy's older than
He's
me.
like 35,
like
jacking
jerking
off
in the
There's
bed.
a 19-year-old fucking kid.
And you know, it's a sound that you can't unhear, but a sound that's so familiar. Like I woke up and I heard it, and then I'm like frozen. Like I'm like, what? And then I'm like trying to trying to figure out how long do I pretend to be asleep until he finishes. Like, I'm like,
and then you gotta hear, and then you gotta pray you don't hear the jizz hit something.
Oh, God.
You don't want to hear another man's jizz.
I also was disgusted because it was a room like you're jerking off in the bed. Like, you're, like, save that shit for the shower. Go somewhere you know. But you're like,
it's in the air, man.
Yeah,
it's
like,
in the air now, man.
Like, I really was like,
that's brutal.
Man. It was like, I think back, like that gives me, oh God.
Yeah.
Every now and then I think
That's
about
tough.
that guy jerking off in that bed next to me, and I was like, didn't even understand that a solo room was an option.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. You don't know any. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, my first tour, I was opening for my friends who were like in an alt comedy thing, and it was like, Sprinter van would be nice. It's like we have one SUV. That is, there's someone's in the middle seat.
Right.
We're just, we're doing the whole thing. It was like, and we're sleeping on floors. Sometimes at the venue we're sleeping at, and it was like, if we got a hotel room, it was like, okay, well, there's 5 people in this hotel room.
Right, yeah, you're
and
right.
it's like, you're lucky to get it's like, sometimes people will be like, I'll just do the floor.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
it was like, I've slept on the floor. I've slept in like we slept in vans. You know, it's like those things are just like, but you just get used to it. And it's like there's a fun adventurousness.
Of course, you're also not.
Love.
It's so less sad for you,
yes,
than everyone else,
right? Because it's I think that look, I really firmly believe that if you're doing this business, like whatever it is, like you need to be eating shit a lot,
without question.
Every person I meet who ascends so quickly, I'm like, you don't know what it's like to be on the other end. And I think that actually makes you a better person.
For sure.
And it also like lets you understand, just like we're all in it. We're all in it together. Like, and I feel like I look back on it, I'm happy to have been doing that at 19, 20, and 22.
Of course.
Than to do it at like 35 and be jerking off next to a 19-year-old. Like, I don't want to be doing that.
Yeah. You don't want, you don't want to be the looper in that situation where it's like it switches and it's like you look and it's like 19-year-old you and you're the one jacking off. You're like,
yeah, no, but I think that's a thing that like I feel like it's also great because you appreciate wherever you are. Like I feel like I go on the road now. I love going on the road. I try to make it as comfortable because I often, a lot of that stuff falls on me as far as like organizing certain elements of it. We have tour manager, and we have people, and everybody's great. But I want to make sure it's a fun experience. But it also is like, whenever it's bad, and it's never that bad anymore, but when it's bad, it's like, Could be a zillion
Yeah, I
times
could have a
worse.
fucking job.
Yeah,
I
right.
could have a
100%.
fucking
And it's like,
yeah.
you know, it's like, but I also think it also like you respect the people in the spot more. It's like, I don't know. I just think like, I think that when you see it on such a base level where no one gives a fuck about you.
Oh, dude.
Like, you know, it's like when
You're
people are
scum.
like, you're just like, you're here tonight. Great.
I mean,
like, you
yeah.
don't, no one gives a, no, you're nothing to any, like, you're just a fucking animal.
If they're there by accident.
Yes, yeah.
Like that. I mean, so much of stand-up comedy when you start in New York is fucking up someone's nice evening.
Yeah,
How many
right.
times? I don't know if improv is the same way, but it's like I assume you don't like stand-up shows. There'd be a hopping bar
Yeah.
on a fucking Wednesday or something, and people are assuming
Yeah.
it's a fucking Wednesday. I'm here to grab a beer with my friends, and then some fucking idiot is like, "Hey guys, show's gonna be starting in about 5 minutes," and they're like clearing out an area, and it's
man.
like, and you just,
Dude,
and
when
then
I
if
was-
you're like, oh,
When I was in New York, you know what they were doing? It was even worse. They do it at laundry rooms, like laundromats. So, like, imagine that. You're like, I'm just trying to wash my shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, everybody. All right. And, you know, and it's like, and you couldn't check out as much as you could now. Like, now I could pop on my headphones and be
Sure.
like, I'm just going to be watching
Sure.
my Hulu. But like, it's funny. Like, I love going on the road. I love seeing stuff. I do love that energy of,
Mm-hmm.
but you're right. Like, you also have fucked up people's nights. Like in those early
Oh, man.
nights, I remember we went to the Mall of America. I played Knuckleheads.
Love
and it was
that.
part of the Minnesota Improv Festival.
hell yeah.
Now, what the Minnesota Improv Festival did not tell the Friday night at 8:00 audience at Knuckleheads was
Yeah.
that they were a part of the Minnesota Improv
Yeah, yeah,
Festival.
yeah.
Those people came in and they were like, "I'm here to see stand up."
Yeah, where's Dice?
Yeah, and we came on that stage, and within the first 5 minutes, I'm introducing a show. Someone's like, "Kill yourself!" I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah,
I remember being on stage with Rob Riggle, a Marine, who's been
Mm-hmm.
through shit. Like looked at me, and I looked at him. He's like, "Oh, let's go!" Like, "I'll fuck out of here." And you know, we did like a 40-minute show in 15 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
go. And no one's upset when you finish early like that.
No, they're ready to go. They're
Yeah.
ready to get the fuck out. That's so funny to be touring, because that really must have felt so, like, honestly, even glamorous when you're 19 or whatever. And so you were just in class. So you realized I'm not gonna get a real job, because you talk about having like this dormant
Yeah.
idea of wanting to be an actor or something, and then
Yeah.
you're like,
I think look, I wish I could say like I knew I was going to be an actor and I didn't care about college. I didn't really have a plan.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like I wanted to be doing this. I didn't know how to do it. No one
Right,
led me to
right.
it. So it was like I stumbled into a lot of it, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think
well, how'd you get into that? Like, there's no student, because I would assume maybe you do some student shit, but like this sounds like something that was not even like culturally
Yeah.
up your alley that you
Well,
kind of stumbled into.
So the crazy thing was that my parents have been divorced for a long time, and I would spend the weekends with my dad, who lives in Queens.
Oh, nice.
He lived in Queens.
Oh, yeah, we're in
he's-
Queens right now,
yeah,
baby.
love it. My dad was
Yeah.
in Flushing.
Oh,
so-
not far.
Yeah, not that far.
You get the Chinese food as a kid must have been insane.
Amazing. Street. That was my dad's
Love
address.
it,
I remember
yeah.
it still. to this
Go
day.
bother the guy that lives there, guys. Go
Wave
knock on
to
his
my
door.
dad.
Tell him Paul
Hey,
sent you.
Hey, come go on the tour of my young childhood.
Yeah, go see him.
Knock on that door, side door.
Yeah.
I bet you it's been ripped down and put up condos.
Yeah,
or something like that.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
But you know, so I would spend the weekends with my dad, and being
So
so
your
close,
mom,
my
you're on Long
mom's-
Island, and your
my-
dad's in Queens.
Yeah, and
Gotcha.
so you know, so close to the city, my dad and I would just do fun, cool shit. We'd
That's
go see
awesome.
movies. We'd go see, you know, comedy, whatever I could get into, because it's like I'm a young kid. But I remember my dad took me to see Def Comedy Jam at Westbury Music Fair.
Oh, that's so
And that was
sick.
the fucking best. We saw.
That's incredible.
It was amazing, and I brought my friends, you know, and it was so funny because my dad, I think, wanted to support, but also didn't know exactly what he was like walking into. It's like,
right.
You know, like so going into Def Comedy Jam, I would argue
And
that
this
we
is
were
what-
this is probably 94.
I mean, it's the peak.
peak.
The absolute peak.
Right, and so we're going.
And you're how old? I'm sorry to
I'm
keep
like I'm
interrupting.
in high school, like
So
you know,
you're-
like,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So
That's
we're going
so
to
funny.
Def Comedy Jam, or you know, and it was so much fun. And my dad and I would go see George Carlin every year.
Cool.
At Madison Square Garden. We'd see him. And then we bounced it out. And then my dad was a big fan, and still is, of Garrison Keillor. So we go see Garrison
Okay,
Keillor.
cool,
So
yeah.
just see a lot of different stuff. remember one time we even went to Radio City Music Hall and saw Martin Lawrence on the You So Crazy tour.
Oh my God!
Which was like
when he's getting like banned from NBC for talking about women washing their pussies on SNL.
And I think that was like the first joke that he opened with. And my dad's like, I don't know what's going on, you know. But it was like,
that's awesome. So your dad. So this is interesting because like. I assume you were like always you're like a big movie kid. You're like a big culture.
Yeah.
Is that your dad's thing? Was that how you guys bonded? Was that what he was into?
I think he introduced me to all that sort of stuff. Like I remember he would tape SNL on Saturday nights when I was too young to stay up for it, and we watch it on Sunday mornings.
That's
Eat like
awesome.
pancakes and watch SNL. But he brought me into the city one time because we were trying to find these comedy shows. Like what could we see? And and there's a group called, which I eventually joined, Chicago City Limits, and I saw it. And they were doing improv. And I never had seen improv. I was like, holy fuck, that forehead
feels like a magic trick.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, that's amazing.
No, listen, listen, whose line? I was in when as a kid when that would pop up on TV. It was fucking awesome.
Right, you're just watching, you're like, I want that. And so I started so I went there so much because they had 2 shows a night. And it was like a $10 ticket. So my dad and I would be like, can we go see the next show? My dad's like, yeah, sure. You know, I'm a cheap date. You know, where, we go see the 8 o'clock and the 10:30.
Your dad were short form improv super fans.
Yeah, we're like in the audience. And they were doing these shows. And occasionally they would do like telethons, and like Jon Stewart was doing stand up there.
Wow,
and it was like, you'd see like a bunch of cool people.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to take classes. And I went and I took classes. And not realizing that no kid my age was going to take classes. Like I walk into a classroom of like people in their 30s and 40s taking classes, and they're not trying to be comedians. They're just trying to be like, I am a school teacher. I want to be more loose for my kids.
Bowling,
exactly.
And something that's happened to modern improv now is it has become the worst bowling league of all time.
I mean, well, that's and that's it. Like there's highs and lows and all this shit.
Right? No, you know, because because you were a UCB guy later on, but I remember when I first moved here, and this was 10 years ago. So UCB's like a corporate structure at this point.
Right.
And I took, and you move to New York and shit's not going good. When you first move from a secondary, smaller city, it sucks. So I'm like, I'm not going to get stage time. I love improv comedians. Let me take some classes. And I went twice, and it was like accountants that were sure they were going to be on SNL with no sense of anything, and I was like, I have to go. You see, and I ate the money. I had no money. I was like, I would rather eat the money than keep coming to this.
No,
and it had become
3 hours. Yeah, and it's like, and I feel like when I was doing UCB, and I was there from the very beginning.
Oh wow, cool.
When they first opened their first, I was there seeing them when they were doing shows on a 5th floor walk up on 17th Street.
Wow.
And then they opened up their
what part of town?
Right off
like
5th, 17th and 5th, right around there.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So it was Solo Arts Group, and we'd walk up and see this show, but it blew my mind the first time I saw it. And when we first opened up that theater, I mean, I say they opened it. We were performing there all the time because they needed slots, like 3 shows a night. They were just going to be like, we have a theater, we're not going to be dark ever. You had $5 tickets. It was amazing, right? Yeah. And we would do so many shows, but I think back then it was a mix of improv and stand-ups and everything, and sketch and characters and everything, because like the way I met Aziz Ansari when I did Human Giant, like that was because Aziz was hosting a show called Crash Test, and his whole premise was, I want a stand-up show, but I want to host it with improvisers, and I want to bring in other people. And the first week he brought in Rob, the second week he brought in me.
Oh, cool.
And then we started making things, and then Crash Test became something of like all 3 of us, which was like bits and things, but you'd have comics working out shit, and it was a more fun vibe. And I don't know where that ended. Because when I left, it was still kind of like that, but I've heard it kind of got a little, little less.
I mean, anytime anything becomes huge, it's fucked. Yeah. There's things are good for a while, and then they either disappear or they become some fucking horrible corporate. I mean, I'm saying it's horrible, but it's like it's capital. Not to get fucking. Money. It's about a check, and then when you fucking rent 4 places in Manhattan, the money's got to keep coming in, and then everybody that initial group of people, it's like, well, they're the establishment now. Right. Like Amy Poehler is one of the funniest people of all time, but she was like you can't be more like, you're not a fucking rebel anymore when you're a millionaire who's on NBC and you know what I mean? Well,
and the other thing is like the thing about UCB, I think that's really interesting is they were launched as I want to say it's the right way, that I feel like as a cult of personality. Those 4, right? That was UCB. Then my group was the group right under that, which is, I could list off the names. It, it goes
Tons of
everywhere
really
from,
funny people, for
you
sure.
Know,
Yeah.
it's like Zach Woods and Rob Riggle and, Ben Schwartz and like Adam Pally. The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
And we, and even like Ben and Zach, they're way younger than me. So it's like when that first forefront of people, we kind of tried to adopt that ethos. And then we were copying them, and then people were copying us, and then
it's the Xerox shit where it gets like kind of fuzzy around the edges.
And then when we start to leave, then everything is becoming a little less and less, and because it gets more and more popular, like we were our first theater. Well, I said like the first shows I was doing, I was on a 5-floor walk up.
Yeah,
we were talking about a theater.
That's what I'm saying. It's cool. That shit is fucking awesome, and it's like, and then. It's just, but that's the cycle of everything, right?
Right, and you just kind of, and I think what it is you have to hold on really. I remember I had a conversation with somebody about this because, well, actually, with the person who bought UCB, I was like, you can't just buy UCB.
That sentence right there says everything.
Right, yeah.
The person who bought UCB.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be an entity to be sold, and no one, if it is, no one should have that amount of money, and anyone who has that amount of money is gonna do it wrong.
Well, but it's
you know what I mean?
It becomes like a
if you're a
sports
fucking
team,
billionaire, or not billionaire,
no,
but
I was saying,
whatever.
like, when I was talking to him, I was like, you don't it's not like you buy like the Celtics, right? Like you'd be like, oh, I have a history, I have a thing. It's like you have to the thing that is UCB is the talent, the cultivating the talent, making sure people come there, making sure doesn't run on itself. Like if you take the soul out, it's not the show anymore. And I think they definitely in LA, I think they've figured out how to give it back to the performers a little bit, because when it gets away from the performers and that energy, it's like, A, I don't want to perform there.
Yeah.
B, it doesn't feel like a place I want to just go even hang out at.
Right.
It becomes like a corporate thing, and it's like it's a weird middle ground. It's like it's hard to lose it. It's so quick. It's like your clubhouse becomes like this other thing.
And that's the price of success. I mean, it's pretty much dark. The wisdom of die a villain or whatever die a hero, live long enough to be Harvey Batman or Harvey Dent or whoever the fuck said it. That's pretty much what happens all the time, man.
Well, and I think the only way that you can it's hard to do that for organizations, and I think for human beings, it's easier because you can be like, oh, I want to see new stuff. I want to be challenges. I think there's two types of people I've run into, like people who are like, I am angry and jealous of somebody who's having success, somebody who's doing something that in a way that I don't understand it. Or there are people who look at it being like, holy shit, that's inspiring. That's exciting. Like I saw O'Mary last night in New York.
I can't wait to see that, man.
It's so fucking great. Yeah. And I look at that thing.
Cola School is so fucking funny.
So funny.
Yeah.
And everyone in that cast is so good. But you look at that thing and I'm like, oh, this is inspiring to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if you can still have that, you have to have a naivete to comment. I think once you lose that, the only I've met a bunch of different people, but one of the people who embodies that for me is like Will Ferrell. Every time I meet that guy, he's like, oh, I'm doing something weird. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna go on this YouTube show. I'm gonna do this other thing. It's like you need that ability to be like, oh, I don't give a fuck. Like I'm still this person at heart. I'll put on a funny costume and I'll do I'm not precious about who I am or what I do. And I feel like once you lose that, or once you feel like then you cease to,
Yeah, I could also be eating. It could also be the eating the shit thing, right? It could be like, I remember that shit. It's like and it's and maybe there's a little bit of like fundamentally being like, I can't take myself too seriously. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot piece of shit, which is something I have. I don't deserve to be in any half of the shit that's gone on, I'm like, this is stupid. Like, being in a big theater makes no sense. Like, I should be in the shittiest club in the world. So it all feels fun.
Right. It's like but I also feel like your enthusiasm, your want to be there is like, that's what I think it's crazy. Like that fact, that's again, I go back to that O'Mary. I'm like, that's on fucking Broadway.
Yeah.
Broadway.
That's fucking cool.
Right. Like that's crazy. And that show that's a subvert, that's a show that could have been done or made, look, I remember seeing Gutenberg, the musical, when Anthony King put it up at UCB. That's and then it grew out of that. And then it became a thing on Off-Broadway. And then it came back to Broadway. It's like, oh yeah, that's the trajectory of seeing
something
stuff,
like that.
And it's like, I don't know. It's fun to understand that our job at the end of the day is still to be like, not an asshole, but like be like
have
we're
a good
having a party.
time. Have a good time.
That's it.
Yeah, and you do have to be fun. Like I do think it was interesting because I didn't know. I was a huge fan, but you don't know. I don't know much about. I didn't know much about you because I think improv stand-ups. I think it's a little different. Where, but also just like in your work, it doesn't necessarily come through that like. Just it's not as autobiographical.
Right?
I guess,
yeah. You can hide behind characters and dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. And I feel like it's. But yeah, no, I feel like that's the thing that like kind of what I really do love is just. I think eating shit is always good. I don't want to eat too much shit.
Yeah.
But it's like. I just took a stand-up class. I've never done stand-up.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, what? Like, I don't know if I'm.
You didn't have to do that. You didn't learn anything.
But you know what it was? Like, but there was a part of me that was like, oh man, I've never done this.
Yeah.
And just for the exercise of, like, I'm not gonna be like, now I'm gonna go.
I'm ready to go.
But I just like, I wanted the exercise of being like, this is something I'm not comfortable doing. I get on stage a bunch, I can talk a bunch, but I didn't know how to like write to that. I mean, and I'm not saying I do, but it's like, it was uncomfortable to go to that class for me.
I get it. It's a completely different form. But I guess what I was really getting at was like, I don't know much about. It was just interesting to see that how the title is what's the exact
Joyful Recollections of Trauma.
Trauma. How fucked up your shit was. You know what I mean? Where it's because it's like you do seem like an insanely positive guy, but I think what it comes down to is like eating shit is not only your career. I do think there's a personality thing of like when you go through it and you come out the other side because like. You just fucking got through a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah,
like your childhood was the divorce, like your stepdad being like a fucking trucker, a Long Island trucker.
Yeah,
kind of a blue chip. Shitty stepdad to have. You know what I mean?
Like the
top.
The lottery.
Yeah,
like a
in
shitty stepdad.
There's a shitty stepdad. That man's all pro. You know what I mean? Like,
but yeah, no, I mean, that's that part of my life that I talk about in the book because it really isn't like a showbiz book per se. Or
no, it's really not.
I wanted to make it something that I felt like would be relatable to people. Like sometimes I'm also like. Save that shit for Barbara Streisand. Like she can talk about, and I won the Oscar and I did this, and I was traveling with the Pope.
Yeah. And I'm like, I knew when they wouldn't book me at Dead Crow Comedy Club that I would. It's like no one cares about a comedian's
Cross
stories.
Said our show was funny, and I knew, and it was. And that was a huge thing for me, but it's not going to be a great story. But it's like that. I never really. I don't like lead with it. I don't because it was. I think part of it was like you keep. Your life. I was told my family was brought up. I don't know how it is. Like I'm Italian, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, we keep our shit behind closed doors. Indoors is going to be crazy.
Right.
I'm going to funerals where people are lifting people out of coffins going, Joey. And there people are having grudges that they'll never talk to. People are not talking. But it's like, but you don't bring it outside of the family, right? And you keep your...
Italians really love to pretend they're in the mafia.
Oh, my God. My God.
When it comes to just being...
Oh, man. It's like, it is such a, like... It's a point of pride, it's like, and look, the truth is, it's like, my grandfather went to jail for being, he was a president of a bank, and he, he didn't go to jail technically, he did community service, because he was in a bank that was like kind of run by these mafia guys, and the way that he didn't go to jail, they all went to jail, but was that all this paperwork that was like the most damning paperwork happened on the day that he had his kidney removed.
What?
And they signed all of his names on. Like they basically was like he's out of the office. Boom, 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 boom. Said all this documentation, which was a crazy thing, And it's like, and I went to those people's houses and those that might be like the people who. Like you have people who like want to act like they're in the mafia who are nowhere near it, and then the people that you see that are actually in it, you're also like, oh shit,
there's
like
something fucked up here.
Yeah, it's a different vibe,
different energy, absolutely.
Long Island, Italian, it's a lot of shit going on.
And so when your parents got divorced when you were really young, so did your dad move to Queens after? Were you all like, was your family a Long Island family, or where'd your parents meet and stuff?
My mom stayed in Long Island. My dad moved to Queens, but
he's from there.
My dad grew up in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
So, but he worked in the Bronx.
Gotcha.
And so I think Queens was like a nice middle ground. And the place that he stayed at was a member of our family. He was like, oh, I have a duplex.
Gotcha.
So it was like, I don't even know all those details, but I'm putting shit together.
How'd your parents meet? Do you know?
I believe they met in college.
Okay.
So my dad was at St. John's. My mom was a nurse. They're going to nursing school.
Gotcha.
But when they got divorced, or their marriage was falling apart, they pretended it wasn't for me. So my parents got divorced at 3, but stayed together till I was 5.
What?
So I was living in this house where I would come. I would be like, I'd sometimes catch my dad like sleeping in the guest room. I'm like, what's going on?
What the fuck?
And my mom was like, oh, the bed is broken. And I'm like,
That's
okay.
Oh, so it's really not a talk about the problems family.
No,
it's a pretend to be in a marriage until our son is smart enough to figure it out.
My dad literally would leave the house on like when I went to bed and then get there before I woke up. So it would feel like he was there.
That's fucking nuts.
And so, and that kind of shit, like that also like kind of like zings around in your head a little bit too, because like you're living under the Truman Show for a little bit.
Right. I mean, that's insane.
And like,
and also that age is like such a intuitive age because you don't know shit, but you're like a little like
you
I
get
don't know.
vibes.
Yeah,
you get vibes,
I feel like babies do weirdly get vibes.
And, so I'm like 3 years old, but I remember catching my dad in that room, and my mom's like, oh yeah, the bed's broken. I'm like, which is a great metaphor for divorce, but but also like this idea, like, but that sticks out to me for a reason. I remember trying to get them to hug. Right, go hug each other. Like like I knew something, but I didn't want to ask.
So weird,
too,
yeah.
Right, I didn't even know if I knew what to ask. Right,
yeah.
And even when they got divorced, it wasn't like we're getting a divorce. It was like, oh, we're moving. Your dad's gonna move over here, and I'm gonna move over here, and you get to be in. Like it was like
I
it
see.
was a little like. And again, I'm young. Like, what do you can tell a 5-year-old? Like, I'm
sure,
like,
sure.
I don't know how you have that conversation. I have an 8-year-old and 10-year-old. I don't,
But come on,
right?
You don't tell them. You don't
right.
pretend to be married,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right. But I think it's like one of those things. Like, my parents, I think, are trying to be like. This is the thing that I, as a parent now, I have empathy.
Sure,
because
for sure.
I think that you go, oh, they were trying to do their best.
And how old were they?
Fucked up. My parents got together when they were in their 20s.
Yeah.
So like,
they're pretty young.
They're young 20s, they're like mid 20s when, it's like, and not that like, it's not even like forgiveness. It's like, oh, they're just like, okay, how do we not make this traumatic?
Yeah.
We'll do this other thing that could potentially be even more traumatic, but they're not thinking about that. Like, and they're not looking in it. They're not going to therapy. They're not running these ideas by,
of course.
Look, I come from the Catholic Church. Before you get married, you have to sit with a priest to tell you what marriage is like. It's like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's like, that's not the person that you should be talking to like that. It's like, but we go, we take catechism with the priest. It's like, the guy's married to God. But it's like you do these things that make no sense. And I think that like, I don't know, again, maybe it's my own parents, but this idea like, we have to keep up appearances. Like we're trying to do this. We're trying to do the right
that's
thing.
Definitely an immigrant. I don't know how, that it's definitely a Greek thing for like first generation immigrants. It sounds like we're talking more American, East Coast Italian, but it's still anyone in the church.
My grandparents' parents came from Italy. Yeah. So like, I mean, it's two generations. But
it's still kind of running around in especially in like the tri-state area. It was definitely that was still kind of like the culture there, the keeping up appearances thing for sure. And then you were just, I mean,
because I was inclined, and this sounds crazy. This thing makes me feel like I'm fucking old when I say this, but it does like. No one else was divorced. Like I was in school, so
that's
like,
interesting.
Like people are like, what's divorce?
Yeah.
Oh, and people come over, Paul, tell them about what your parents are like. I'm like, oh. Like, it's like, it was like, and I was like that person that like always have to explain, like, oh, my parents aren't together.
Wow,
my parents aren't
interesting.
Together. Now, I think that like, as I got a little bit older, it really started to, the wave crashed. We were just the first ones,
early adopters.
Yeah.
Early adopters to divorce. Damn. Yeah. So you must have had some of the first fun weekends at Dad's in America.
I'm in those moments. And I think it probably also is like, it's I feel like, it was just a weird thing to be like, oh, my dad comes and picks me up, and my dad does this, and it was like that, and they were very separate, but they were also together, and they did so much to continue to like.
They had a good relationship while you were.
They did. It's funny. My mom and dad their relationship got bad when I turned 30. which was so odd, right? But it was like one of these things.
What happened? What do you think?
I think what it is like you fake it so long,
Right.
and then all of a sudden, it's not like what happened as much as like the dam broke.
Yeah.
It's like I can only keep this
yeah.
shit at bay. And
they had both been remarried a couple times? Or?
My mom has been remarried, but my dad, it actually, the thing that is interesting in a way is that what happened was when my dad got remarried, that kind of burst open the dam. You know, and I think it's like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, right?
Makes
it's
sense.
like on some level, you're dealing with, it's easy, like, look, you know, I don't know your relationship status, right?
Yeah,
but like
single,
right? So
ready to mingle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, come on out the queen. Yeah. You can stay at my dad's.
We'll go say what's up to Paul's dad's house. We'll get some dumplings by in Flushing.
But you know, what I think is so kind of crazy is that there's a thing like even in the worst relationships, you're like, oh, all right, if we break up, you don't want to see that person with somebody else.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And it would almost be great if you could break up with somebody and they never got with somebody else,
or they disappear. They're just like, you know what, man? I'm going to Europe.
We
have to play rock paper scissors. One of us moves to fucking
get out of
Portugal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
You're never going to see them again.
Yeah,
Have to deal with it. And I think in a way, unintentionally, that's what my dad did. He didn't get remarried. There's no that anger. So once he gets remarried, it's almost like that dam of.
Oh, interesting. So it was on your dad's side, not your mom's. Because when you're saying this, I'm thinking like, well, your dad seemed, because I read he seems like a nice guy,
he's a great guy,
and it also seems like it's like there could be, not knowing them at all. It's like your mom was in other relationships. There could be kind of like your mom didn't like the fact that he finally found someone. Your mom felt like she had her needs kind of covered by her. Your dad was still a part of her life in a way, so that once he gets married, it fucks her up. I would never have assumed it would have fucked him up to where he's kind of mad.
Oh, sorry, you're right.
I'm right.
You're right. Sorry, you're right. Sorry, yeah. You analyzed it.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's really what happened. So like when he got married,
your mom's like, how dare he?
Yeah, it was like boom.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and that
30 years later, he gets married.
Right.
Like I was nothing.
And, right. And it's like, and I think, but it's like, and that's the thing. It's like, and I think that's the problem of almost.
Wow, that is fucking fascinating, dude. Right? Yes, absolutely.
Too polite or too passive? Because you're like,
too passive,
right?
Because that was there in a little fucking box waiting to be and it's just like, it just showed. I mean, this is getting, because my family, we're going through there's a little rearranging going on in the family.
Got it.
And I'm trying to I wasn't close to my dad for years, and I'm trying to get back to it. And we're having real conversations, but it's so clear shit bothers him from so long ago that you're like, how the fuck are you still talking about it? And the idea that your mom would be like, just never dealt with those, got used to a weird codependent thing, and like, and it's just so fascinating.
And I don't mean to be like therapy is the catch-all of all, but it's like, if you're not going and working, like if someone's not forcing you to deal with it, you will never deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's when it happens, and that's when it fucking explodes. That's why I think most of MSNBC, those like, I murdered my husband, I murdered these people. It's like, that's all that shit is. That's like, he never closes the garage door, and then one day he farts. It's like, I have to kill this thing. It's like, it's these. It's like we repress so much. I think part of the book was interesting because I wrote it. I was like, I've been doing How This Get Made, this podcast for 15 years. I've been telling these funny stories unintentionally, like right
just
here,
pops up.
Right, just pops up. It's just like, I don't know what's going to come out, and people are like, write a book. I'm like, all right, sure. And then that's easier said than done. And so you want to write a book.
It's annoying.
You're write a book.
You got into comedy.
I don't know.
You don't want to write.
And so, and I started writing those anecdotes, and I was like, oh, but this is like, there's no there, and as I was writing it, I was like, well, if I'm telling this story, I have to kind of tell this part of the story. And then it just started to open up. Mm-hmm. And in a weird way, like, I'm glad I wrote the book when I did, because I think I have the benefit of working on myself and reflection. Mm-hmm. Like, I was able to look at it in a way, like, if I wrote this 10 years ago, it would have been a different book. It may have been an angrier book. It may have been a book, but it's like, I was able to start to, like, be outside of it and be like, oh, this is actually I can talk about this. I can get into
enough
this.
time has passed where you're like, you know what? Let's actually look at it. It's not as raw for me. You've actually gone through some shit.
And I think, but part of it is like being forced to go through it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and
whether you like it or not, you went through it.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say like, oh, there was one therapist and I went to 5 sessions, I'm better. It's like, yeah, it was like a little bit of therapy. Then that's a little bit of like in relationships, trying new things, doing new things. You're growing as a person, and I feel like some people are very content to stay. I mean, we're just talking about it with performing too. It's like you can be like, I am who I am, and I'm gonna stay who I am because I know it's safe.
Yep.
And the minute you do that, you atrophy, you die.
For sure.
Like, you know, and I think on some level, it's not saying that you have to like go in there and be like, the world is amazing. I'm not saying you have to go become like Deepak Chopra, but it's like, but I think that actually the other shit that when you examine yourself, you actually get to funnier places too, because you can actually go there. You can actually be like, oh, if I know something about me that I would never, you go deeper down.
Totally.
You're like, oh, that's interesting. And the same thing with comedy. It's like, if you see something, you're like, that makes me angry. It's like, well, why does that make you angry? Like, what, you know, like there's angry for different reasons or jealous for different reasons.
And did like, because I feel like you're talking about a lot of repression that you're kind of growing up around, and you seem like a truly nice dude, and you're in a good zone right now. But there must have been like rebellious, like that stuff must have bubbled out of you at some point.
I fought.
Really? You were violent.
Yeah, well, because, you know,
so fucking funny. I would never have guessed you fought.
You know, because it was like I was coming from this abusive household where we, like, I had a guy who was bigger than me, right? Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out how to, you know, survive is a weird word, but it's like I'm just trying to figure out how to fight back.
Yeah.
And so I learned after a couple of years of this, if I fight dirty, I get a little bit. I can get something.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and that gave me some power, like that I didn't have as a kid. Sure. You know, and so as I hit harder, he hit harder, but at least I was hitting.
Yes.
Right. You know, and it gave it, and I'd walk away not feeling as bad.
Sure.
Right. And then what I realized,
get a couple licks in.
Yeah. Right. Like, I'll kick in the balls. I'll give you a fucking hit.
It feels good. Yeah. Violence feels good.
It does. You know,
actually really does.
You know. Again, MSNBC. That's why people are getting in this. But then what I realized was like that started to take over throughout my whole life. Right. Like it was sort of like that quick to anger. That you know. You know, and then you would. And it's like, well, wait, hold on. Then you have to be like, well, who am I?
Yeah.
Because I'm this guy that I didn't want to even.
Now I'm going to go fuck up smaller guys than me, and then I'm just him.
Like, I don't want to be that. And then, so then my first reaction was like, well, I won't be angry at all. I'm going to shut it off. And for a long time, I was like, I am not angry. Hey, you pissed me off. It's okay. We'll figure it out.
Right.
And it took me a long time to I'm just like to open that door to anger again and be like, it's okay to have anger. It's okay as long as I only had one version of it, which is like to 10.
Yeah.
Like, and it went from 0 to 10 immediately. It's like, oh no, I can be angry at 2. I can be angry at 4. I can get to 10 if I need to.
Sure.
But I don't. It's control over it. I think that was like a learned process.
But anger was the thing for you as a kid when you weren't like a drug kid. You weren't like
I mean, I grew up Catholic, so I'm like, I'm not going to be doing drugs.
Oh, wow.
You know,
but that worked on. But you say that you're like, oh yeah, of course, every Catholic kid I know never fucked or did drugs at 12.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think it was. You know, I think I was also really surrounded by. The Catholic school I went to, like, no one was doing that shit. Like, it's like, that was my other friends. And they were like, oh, I was smoking weed in high school. No, I mean, like, occasionally I'd see a cigarette around. I mean, I drank, like, look, I remember I could put down a whole 6-pack of Zima, fucking Rolling Rock and shit like that at parties. You know, but it wasn't too excess, right? It wasn't too, like, it didn't actually, like, because I was lying, like, to a certain extent, I was lying to myself. Like, that shit covers up when it's on the surface. And it's like, I feel better when I'm like this. I'm like, no, I convinced myself I am better. I don't need this.
Right.
And then it was deeper.
Interesting.
Deeper, darker down.
Yeah. That's one of those things where if you had gotten into it, it probably would have been bad.
Yeah.
You know,
right?
because if you actually, I could see that.
And, you know, or like I think what would have been interesting, but if I never shut off the anger.
Right.
And then I started drinking or doing drugs, it would have like been like, but I think I had the wherewithal to be, I don't want to be that. So I really tried to fight against it. But also those things, you know, it could make me lose control.
For sure.
And then the whole thing I wanted was control. Can I have control?
So did you ever have like so that makes so much sense to wanting control.
Yeah.
So you don't want to get fucked up and lose it.
Yeah.
So did you have any kind of vice type thing? Were you just obsessive about literally like movies and pop culture stuff, and that's what it was?
That was it. Like, I mean, I was like, I love movies, I love comedy, I love like, and that was like a gateway. That was like an entry point to like just another world, right? You know, and I think also it's like I think that, you know, like pop culture definitely were like these things I held on to, these trinkets, these things that meant something to me. It gave me like something sturdy, you know, like, you know, even if it's like I'm collecting my movie tickets for boogie nights or whatever it is, like, I have my shit, you know, it's like, and I love having my shit.
I'm guessing we're not getting any pussy either at this age.
No, you know, it was interesting though, because
or
like,
were you?
I had
you had a girlfriend in high school or college?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
But you know what it was?
Rescinded.
No, but you know what it was? Is like I was so unaware of what I wanted. So like and this is like whatever. Don't make fun of this, but I'll say a lot of girls came to me.
Wow, hell yeah.
And so and so in my way, like I was like, oh, this is so nice. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like I was grateful for that, but I was like, do I want to be with this person? Right? Because it was sort of like, okay, well, if someone's giving me this thing or wanting to come to me, like it's almost like I didn't even have like that much authority over like what I really want.
Sure.
You know, so that I would find myself.
You were still passive in those relationships.
I find myself getting into these like long-term relationships, and I'm like, oh, I don't even know if I wanted to be here in the first place.
Right.
You know, and that like it's a different thing, and I'm not like, oh, I was treating them badly or whatever.
No,
it was like I was so like putting myself like last.
Yes.
That it was I don't want to make her upset, so I'm going to continue to go out. And
here's the next 8 months of my life.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I remember I talked to a friend one time, and he's a terrible relationship, marriage, and I was like, dude, like, it's bad.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but I mean, like, what? What, I got 40 more years of it? And I was like, what? Like,
he's doing a prison sentence.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the shit. That's the thing. It's like you can walk yourself into these decisions. I don't want to hurt anybody. I can't. For sure. I know what it feels like to be hurt.
For sure.
You know, and I think that at the end of the day, you start to realize like, well, then you're not also living your own life. And you know, and I'm like, this guy. It may feel like we're
no. We're gonna get to make fun of these people very soon. But I'm just interested because it's a very specific kind of like to the reaction to a traumatic, you know, an abusive childhood plus.
It's like I don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah.
Right. Because like you come home in an abusive household, it's like what's gonna like I didn't have an alcoholic parent. But if I did, I imagine it would be very similar. Some days super nice, some days fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know, some nights good, some days bad. And my job was in many respects not to rock that boat.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be responsible for him going off the handle.
Totally.
Like, I'm not going to be responsible for.
And so you just kind of kept into that, like, let's fucking
mellow.
A nice,
keep it.
no splash on that dive.
Yeah, like, keep it, like, easy. Like, so it's like, where do you want to have dinner? It's like, Olive Garden. But great, I got, it's like I have no opinion.
Yeah.
And what I think was good and bad about that was, I mean, look, I'm not saying these relationships were devoid of emotion and love, but they weren't like. I wasn't myself, but nor did I actually even know myself enough to not be myself. It wasn't like I was like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. But I think what I would realize is you would go away, and when there was no one around, you could be yourself. Like, you didn't have to answer anybody.
Oh, finally.
And like,
and that's not how you should feel around when you're away from the people you love the most.
Right. And like when I was on tour and stuff, I'd be like, oh, I like this version of me. It was almost like peek its head up. And it wasn't a version of me that was like, fucking let's blow it up. It was just doing what I wanted.
Whatever you wanted. Hey, this guy jacking off next to me, not so bad.
Yeah, right. I'm like, now this
I can get used to. Well, let's take some questions here.
Yeah.
I think you're sorry. Yeah, sorry to get into. It's just
no. I really like. I didn't want to bring down your audience.
No. They get it.
I always feel like whenever I talk about this stuff, sometimes people's buttholes get tight.
This is like a fake therapy show. This is like a completely unlicensed. Legally, you can't get me.
No, yeah.
This is not real advice, but I am very interested in how people just because I have so many vices, and it's like, so much stuff. So I'm interested in like, and it's not, we came from different situations for sure, but it's like anger was definitely the big thing that shaped my childhood as well. And so I'm just interested in seemingly no vices, really. You know what I mean? That you had.
But those vices are almost more like, yes, there are no outward vices, right? Like I'm not smoking, I'm not drinking, I'm not doing drugs. But I'm almost doing like, it's almost like harder damage, right?
I got that shit. That's what I'm saying. Is like, I see that too. I remember because so much of it is like, it'd be hilarious for people like me being like, oh yeah, I'm just too shy sometimes. That's not, I know I don't come off as like, I know it sounds pretty, but it's like, definitely a lot of my life was just like, I definitely felt that of like, let's not fucking rock the boat. Let's just keep it going.
Yeah,
so
and it's like, what I love about this show too is like, advice from strangers is the best advice you'll get because we have no vested
I don't care how your life goes really. I mean, I hope it goes good, but I don't.
But also it's like I used to do this thing with people. It's like, we will tell you like an unvarnished, like it's like we don't have to pull punches.
Yes, absolutely. So let's do it. Let's wreck some of these motherfuckers on this. And go get the book, guys. Anything else, Paul, that you want people to know about?
Yeah, if I'm on the road, go check it out. Go to my website, paulscheer.com.
I love it.
Hi, Stav. I have a friend who
Not playing
I
dumbass.
used to be Stav, I have a friend who Hi, Stav. I have a friend who I used to be a roommate with, and they had this really like abusive ass girlfriend, and they would fight all the time. Would literally trigger my childhood traumas. But whatever. They broke up. They were gone. They were done with each other for almost a year. Now they're back together. And based on listening to your other advice for past callers, I am wondering, how the fuck do I relax and stop worrying about it and stop thinking about it, especially when I have to see both of them too. Yeah. It's been kind of difficult. Thank you so much for taking my call. I do have some bazookas, so please keep that in mind.
Respect.
Thank you so much, and love you. Bye.
Okay, well, knowing you have big tits, I'm going to really lock in here. I was going to phone this one in, maybe throw it to Paul, but no. Do you have does anything really come to mind for you? I have a couple ideas, but please.
I want to break it down with you a little bit here, Brick, because it's like, this is an interesting situation.
Yeah.
Because you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, right? Mm-hmm. Because you can't get involved in matters of the heart.
Absolutely.
Like, you have a person who's in a terrible marriage, it's your friend, you can't say anything. You got to wait and you got to know.
You got to know what it's going to take. The old Seinfeld episode.
Oh,
the first one never takes. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. The breakups never take. But go,
and that's it. And you have to play it out because your friendship, you don't want to be another casualty of that relationship.
For sure.
So I'm always aware of that. It's like, how much are you going to get involved? And yes, it can sound really good. We say to you, go tell her, but I think all this stuff comes down to, you need to figure out where you're comfortable and then stay in that lane, right?
Yep,
So if this guy and her are doing their thing, I don't know if they're living together anymore, but if they're not, if you're seeing them out, you got to go like, hey, is he going to be there? I'm not going to go there. And I think you want me to say, well, you should tell her, don't bring her to our X, Y, and Z. My wife has friends. They have a friend group. There are certain spouses not invited to certain events. And that's because certain spouses trigger other spouses. Or trigger something in somebody.
Yes.
You're very welcome to do that. Like, you make but you can't control, like, you have to be like, all right, he's going to be there, I'm not going to go there. Why am I going to trigger myself? Like, that's the only person you can control is yourself.
Yep.
And when she gets out of it again, or never,
you're right,
you have to reevaluate. Is this worth the grief?
Yes, I fully agree with you. And I think maybe she gets some of that because she's saying, like, based on your advice, I'm trying to wonder how to relax and stop worrying because she understands, hopefully, that there's nothing she can do about it. And I guess, the thing to just reiterate is your friend, you and your friends you're along for the ride in each other's lives. And and for parts of it, you're a unit, you're whatever. But it's like, there are parts in everyone's life, even if you're married, even if you have kids, whatever, where you're alone. You know what I mean? And like, the best thing you can hope for is to have some people along for the ride, but it's not a collaborative thing. This relationship, you're just there for them. You're there. You need to be there for your friend as much as you can be, but you can't change the course of certain parts of their life.
And I think the important part of this too is, and the reason why you can't is because you need to be there when that shit goes down. So you are the first phone call that will help.
Yeah.
It's almost like you need to be available as if something, I mean, you're saying abusive, so I don't know where we're at on that level.
True. That's
right?
another good point.
And you want to make sure that if something goes down, she's got a safe haven with you, because I think a lot of people, and I went through this myself too, our family all like, not abandon us, but they're like, I don't like the way he is, I'm leaving, and then when you have no doors to go through, it's harder to get out.
Right.
So you want to stay there for a friend, but you can't, and I know you're not going to worry about it, but you can take control over how you see your friend, how you interact with it. Like, it's like you can eliminate it essentially from your life and still keep your friend as a part of your life.
Definitely. And yeah, exactly. I think you're right, Paul, in that don't put yourself in situations that trigger you. This is, that's bad for you.
Right.
So you don't want to overdo how much of a friend you are that it's fucking your life up. And like what you're saying is really good, because it's like, you're probably gonna take a bit of a step back from how close this person is to you, but you can also let them know, if you ever need help, if you ever want to talk about this, if you ever want to, like, I'm here for you.
And there's a way of taking a step back physically, but not emotionally.
Yeah.
Right. Like you can make sure that person knows that you're in it. You're not like, I don't return their texts, I don't return their phone calls. It's like, no, you're there. You're not cutting it off. You're cutting out the part that doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think most people are pretty smart. They fucking figure it out.
They get it. And also, I don't think there's anything wrong with being explicit about it.
I don't
saying
think so.
Like, hey, I don't think this is good for you. This is your life. I'm your friend. You want to hang out? I'm here for you. I can't do this. And make it about yourself, because it's true. This is triggering my own shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and it's true. And maybe there's a little bit of reflection you need to do. It can't hurt to be like, why is this triggering me so much?
Do you wait for a moment where I'm nervous about this cocaine?
No, it's empty. Don't worry about
it. Do you wait for a moment where it rears its head to do that conversation? Because it's or do you just do it out of the blue?
I don't think so. I don't think you wait for it because, I think because, well, I mean, it does come up. I think if those moments happen, it might not be your choice, right? Like, you might have to react. But I think because she's seen it, right?
Right.
Because you are making it about yourself, and you're not making it about,
right.
I'm not trying to police you. Right? This is your life. I get it.
You're happy, I'm happy.
As a friend, I don't think you should do this, but because this is about me, and the way this person treats you reminds me of these horrific things, I need to take a step back from this relationship. And if this ever gets too much for you, like, look, maybe I'm wrong, it's your life, but if this gets too much for you, I'm here for you. We just need to kind of like take a step back here for my own sanity, basically.
And I think, we're saying the same thing. My only thought is, how do you make it bulletproof for yourself? So you are not
for our call.
You could be like, it's like, hey, look, I find elements. If you say, like, I find elements of your relationship triggering, well, what do you mean? What elements?
Right.
And it's like, look, it's a tricky thing, because you don't want to get her pissed off at you.
That's a good point.
I think what you can do is subtly draw a line. Hey, we're all going out, no boyfriends. Hey, let's go. You and I go see a movie.
Yes,
right. Like, you draw those lines.
Let's get lunch, whatever. Yeah.
Right. And if she starts to bring him along, then I think you go to step 2,
for sure.
Which is like, hey, you know what? I just have an issue based on what happened a year ago,
right? When you broke up,
and so it's better for me if you and I just hang out. Then you just do that. Like, I almost think you baby step it in, because it's like, you come at her hard, it may come out of the blue.
For
like,
sure, that's
you can try to walk it in a way where it's like, you do it, and you're not even involving her, because the last thing you want her to do is feel like someone's against her and him.
You're right.
Depending on where they are in their relationship.
You're right. And I think because this is already, they have so much history, maybe a huge, like, sit down is not necessary.
Yeah.
You know how I feel. We've gone over it. And here's another thing maybe you could try. She, just, if she's hang out too much with her boyfriend, hide those big juicy tits. But if she doesn't bring him around, let her get a little
Well,
peek.
have we thought about that?
You know what I
May be
mean?
the reason why he is around so much.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely don't put him out when he's around. That's you hide those. You keep those for yourself, and reward your friend to let her or them. I don't even know if you said if it's a gay dudes or a they them's whatever's going on there. Maybe it's just a girl and a guy, but hide them for your friend. Even if they're not attracted to you, they're aesthetically, nobody's mad at looking at a big pair of tits. So, thank you, elders. So, try doing that. Try the approach of open communication, or try and kind of, condition your friend where the less they hang out with their boyfriend, the more you show them your tits.
I mean,
See?
This is good advice.
Yeah. What else we got, Big Eld?
What's up, Stav? So I got engaged this summer to my partner of 6 years.
Hell yeah.
And we aren't in a rush to get married, but we're planning for the wedding to happen in 2026 after she graduates.
Okay.
And she went back to school kind of late. We're 30 now. And we're in the early phases of planning the wedding, talking about who to invite and stuff like that. But I don't have many close friends. So in order to have groomsmen, I'd need to invite a certain distant friend to be a groomsman, and that's cool because we get along great. But the reason he's become distant is that his wife really wanted to fuck my fiance.
What?
And it made things hella awkward.
This is awesome.
It all started a few years ago when we went to a UFC event together, and afterwards at the hotel, she texted me asking if she could come to our room because she wanted to fuck my girlfriend.
Pause this real fast, elders.
And
Now, for certain men, this is one of a UFC event.
I mean, we're hitting
watching your girlfriend get fucked by a hot girl. For a certain guy, this is huge.
I mean, there's a lot going on. I don't even know where it's going. Every new detail is wow.
I know.
Wow,
let's stay on the ride.
Wow.
But I just want to say, we hear you. There's some guys smashing their keyboard right now, being like, "Why wasn't that me? I want to do this." But let's see.
Yeah, let's see.
You're right.
My girlfriend. And I said no.
Sure.
But she still asked my girl anyways, who also said no, and my girlfriend was kind of creeped out about it.
Yeah, no shit.
So she offered that my buddy and I could watch them fuck, but that didn't change our mind at all.
This is insane.
She spent the next few months texting my girl a bunch of trying to fuck shit,
What?
and made my girl really uncomfortable, and then we couldn't hang out as a group anymore.
Holy shit.
So I brought it up to my buddy, and he kind of laughed it off, but was clearly embarrassed and didn't really want to talk about it.
My wife's always trying to fuck people, man.
Oh, man, alive. Wow.
Oh, yeah, shucks. My wife's always trying to eat pussy.
Holy shit.
This is fucking awesome. Keep going, Elders.
According to some other friends, she may have even tried this with some of their.
Oh, my God.
According to some other friends, she may have even tried this with some of their girls as well. Maybe not as direct as with mine. Neither of us are in open relationships or anything like that, so my buddy never seemed to grasp. She was crossing a boundary by trying again and again after getting rejected. I'd like to be friends with him again, and especially with the wedding coming up.
What?
So my question is, how do I approach restarting the friendship with him? And how do I invite them to our wedding with a clear boundary that she's not going to try to fuck my wife at our wedding? Yeah. Help me out, Stav. What can I do here?
Oh my gosh. Oh my.
This is fucking crazy.
Well, let me give you the answer that I think is the cleanest one.
Please.
Don't invite this guy to your wedding.
I mean, what
done,
the fuck, dude?
Deal. Don't do it. Don't do it.
He's talking about making him a groomsman, not just an invite.
No.
This is crazy. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I do think what's interesting about this.
Yeah, there's stuff to unpack for sure, but go ahead.
I know what you were saying. There is a fantasy element to this, where everyone's picturing a version of this that is probably the most porny.
And don't get me wrong, I know this is not that. I'm absolutely joking.
Right.
The flip side of this is what's very interesting.
Right?
Yeah,
Right. And it's like, and I think the truth is like that is. I mean, that is it's a crazy proposition. I think that you've handled it. This guy who called really right,
really well. Yeah, up until wanting to up until asking him if he wants steak or fucking fish at your wedding.
No. Like, I mean, like, this is the thing. Like, this woman that he's involved with, she's I don't know if she's got a problem, but there's something that she's doing.
I think she's got a problem, Paul. I think if she's fucking trying to fuck everybody's girlfriend, she's clearly and by the way, their relationship's wild because yes, the joke I made about it being people's fantasy. Now, either his friend is that stupid, where to him he's like, hell yeah, that's fucking cool, or he's one of the most cucked individuals on earth. And either way, something's off with your boy.
But isn't it also like when I hear that from him, that feels to me like, look, some people drink too much, some people do drugs. Like she's like she fucks her,
she fucks some chicks,
right? Like, and so like this is what he's got to deal with. He's like, yeah, man, she fucking texted your wife. I'm sorry. And I feel like it is uncomfortable for him because it's like he's got to cover for his wife who is recklessly out there trying to like bone this guy's friends, and I imagine that you're not the only friend that has had this separation.
That's the other thing. You said she's tried it maybe with other people in your friend group. So not only you and your wife are going to be uncomfortable, but maybe other people they're going to be like, oh, it's fucking Lisa who tried to fuck me.
Setting.
Absolutely the worst setting.
She will just mark my words.
Yes.
She will not only wreck your wedding, she'll wreck the experience of everyone at that wedding. Because the one thing you can be sure of is at a wedding, shit gets sloppy and people make mistakes. It's like an office party. Do not invite this person.
Yes.
Don't worry about groomsmen. I didn't have a groomsman.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends, and I'm like, I don't know how to do a groomsman thing. Like, I don't know how to pick one of these. I don't have a brother. Yeah. So I was like, so I hired a Jack Nicholson impersonator to be my best man.
Great move.
And my wife had her grooms, like her
bridesmaids.
Her bridesmaids were her sisters. But I think like don't feel like
awesome.
you have to follow that
convention.
Tradition. You don't have to stand up there with five guys. Even if you're like, I think that's like it's a weird thing. As like, stand with me with five bros. You can do fun shit. You can throw your own bachelor party. You can do whatever you want to do. But like, this is a mistake.
This is so crazy.
Mistake. And it's like for what? And I know you want to be close to them again, but the wedding is not.
It ain't the wedding, brother.
As a matter of fact, it may be the worst possible moment to rekindle any relationship.
And it's not your fault. This guy, speaking of guilt and going with this guy seems like he has weird guilt towards his friend of not putting him in the wedding. This is not your job. No. Can I tell you something? You know whose job it is to make up this relationship? It's your fucking friend and his crazy wife, dude. And that's whose fucking job it is to heal this relationship. It ain't you.
Yeah, and it's not going to happen. Now, the other version of this that you could do.
Yeah.
You rent another room out in the hotel.
Yeah.
You hire a few sex workers. Then you drop his wife in there.
You let her,
Yeah, and you tell those sex workers, you say, hey.
Tucker this bitch out.
Yeah. Keep her occupied from 12 to 7. And then that's about...
No, I actually love this. Here's okay. Actually, we have the solution. You don't put them in the room. You hire them to go into the party incognito. Pretend to be somebody else's wife. Give her some vibes. This is good. Have a couple undercover sex workers.
I think you need to do at least 3 because you got to cover like the night before dinner. Like you need to basically create like a 6 or at
we
least
need a couple.
3,
She's by
3 to 4 couples.
I say 2 chicks and 1 guy just to cover your bases.
Yeah.
Maybe she's feeling straight, straight philanderer that day.
But I'm trying to say like, she meets somebody at the before dinner.
Well, they don't get to go to the rehearsal.
Oh yeah, but you see, this is
they
tricky.
Just get the wedding info.
Okay, no,
you
can't have a groomsman who gets to go to the rehearsal.
But I'm saying he's not going to be a groomsman. He lost. He lost.
Okay, all right.
They blew that at UFC 300.
Yeah.
Okay, when they saw Sean O'Malley knock that guy out, and she tried to eat your wife's pussy afterwards, that's when he lost his groomsman privileges.
What's so crazy to me also about this, and I think this is the thing that we haven't talked about, but I also go, it seems as if this man who's calling, his wife is giving out no vibes.
Yeah.
Right? There would be a different situation. It's like I'm a little bit nervous.
Right.
My wife is a little flirty with her.
Right.
And I feel like there's a thing, and I feel like I don't want it. And like
His wife
no.
could be fully straight for all we know.
His wife is I'm grossed out by it, by just the relationship, and I'm not into it, and we're not in an open relationship.
Yeah, there's no good. This is fucking insane to the point where I'm like, if he didn't sound so worried, I would say, is this fake?
Yeah.
But this sounds kind of real because of how like off-put this guy is.
Yeah,
by this.
don't make this mistake.
Yeah,
this
dude.
is a mistake. There's plenty of ways around it. Don't make it. You will.
This is not
regret it.
And by the way, okay, you're saying you want to repair the relationship. How about you hang out with your fucking friend, catch the vibes? Does he feel like he has anything to fucking apologize for? Is he said he brought it up and the guy laughed it off. This isn't your job, man. You did more than you should have. Unless he brings it up, maybe, I mean, we don't think you should invite this person to your wedding. And if it comes up, be like, that was really fucking weird. And this is a little bit of, there's a little homophobia here in that. What if a guy tried to fuck your wife or your fiance this much?
It would be fucking crazy.
You probably would have tried to beat this guy up, but because it's a woman, like, it's still fucking weird, dude. If it was like
it's the same thing.
If it's your cousin, if it's like a girlfriend of yours and her husband tried to, and let's say even they weren't in an open relationship, but a guy tried to fuck your fiance, you would not have these people at your wedding, and I think you have to look at it the same way. And the groomsman thing, you're so right. Who gives? It's so weird when the wife has like clearly more friends, and it's just like some guy makes the cut who you don't even fucking talk to.
Why are you doing that? Like
it can be unbalanced. Who gives a fuck? She can have 5, you can have 3.
Or have no.
Put a dog in a tux. Everybody loves that.
I will tell you, no one's gonna look up there that you're wedding. Like I know you don't have a bunch of friends, but no one's gonna look up there and be like, "Oh, this guy has no friends." They're just gonna think you made a choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
You made a choice. It's actually a stronger choice. I also think. If you hang out with you want to repair this relationship, guys only trips. Like that's it. Like you drive me again. We talked about this idea. Draw the fucking line and don't bring it up unless he brings it up because it's not your job. It's not gonna go.
Yeah. Hilarious stuff. I mean, this is fucking crazy. Wow, tries to fuck your wife
at UFC.
At UFC, that is the type of woman.
I mean, that's
try and bulldoze.
I'm getting it. I want to see pictures. I want to see pictures of everybody.
I do. I really do.
Yo, Stav, what's up? And eldest and guests and all that.
Thanks, man.
Bro, I got pussy all through high school, right? Always had a girlfriend.
Nice,
you know
bro.
what I mean? Like went to college, got pussy there.
Nice,
great.
But I'm gonna be honest, I haven't got pussy since COVID.
Tough.
And I mean like before, dude. Like when COVID hit and everyone had to go over to school, that's the last time I had a girlfriend, dude.
Right.
And I've been like fucking driving a truck since then. I like live in the truck. There's no pussy. You know, I'm not gonna fuck a lot lizard, dude. That's disgusting. So I don't know what to do because I make a fuckload of money, but like I kind of just want to fucking like kill myself, dude. Like I haven't had pussy since COVID. I'm like fucking asexual at this point. This shit sucks, dude. So
Poor guy.
I don't know. What's your advice? Like, do I just fucking quit and try to do a different job and get pussy, or like? What? I don't know. Tell me what you think. Thanks, man.
This is fucking awesome.
Dude,
this is a base. This is a man speaking from just the bottom of his soul directly
this is
to
a
us.
come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
But I have some questions about
Please.
it because to me, he's like neglecting. Like there are apps that are built on location.
True.
He's going from place to place. And it seems like he's not saying, I want a relationship. He's like, I want pussy.
Yeah,
There are apps that are built for that.
Yes.
And you could hook up wherever you're going from town to town.
Sure.
And you could you don't have to fuck lot lizards. You know? But it does seem like there's something going on.
There's more going on here.
Yeah.
This is a fun, you know what, I mean, I feel you, bro. I've absolutely been here. I absolutely know the feeling. And what we're discussing here is a little more than anything, it's a problem of work-life balance. It's really not.
He's got the best work. Like, drives a fucking truck. He can stop in any town and every night.
But it sounds like he's not. It's like it sounds like he is just all he's doing is working. He says he's making a shit ton of money, so he's probably constantly on the road.
Sure.
He might be. And look, I don't think this guy downloads Tinder and he's luring too many women to a fucking to a rest stop where he's parked on the side of the road.
He's got to say, hey, I'm if he's upfront about, well, hey, I'm in town for a little bit of time.
And if you're passing back and forth, maybe it's like, hey, go out for a coffee, meet someone, you text. Like, yes, this is an unconventional lifestyle, right?
There are things about there's Uber.
Yeah.
You fucking pop. I know those truck stops. Get in there. You take a nice shower.
Put
on a fucking.
They all got all kinds of beef jerky.
Yeah.
Get some protein.
Cheese and beef jerky. But like, take a nice shower. Put on some clothes. Get in a fucking Uber and go to fucking TGI Fridays. Like, you know.
Yeah.
You know
you're
what I'm
right.
saying? Like, you know, like he like. I think that I think what he's allowing himself to do is be defined by his work.
Absolutely.
And he's got to wrestle that back, and he doesn't have to do anything different. He's got to put in some more effort. Like he's like saying, like, when I was around a lot of people all the time, I was easy to get pussy.
Exactly.
Now I'm not around people. It's hard to get pussy. Well, you got to work harder.
It's hard. Exactly. It's harder than when you were in college. Like he's like, when I went to college, I got pussy there. No shit. That's of course you did.
It's like saying like I'm hunting chickens, but I won't leave my front yard. It's like, you gotta walk across the street. There might be some more over there.
Absolutely. And not only that, he went from like the shooting chickens in the chicken coop to now it's like post-COVID, and then he did a job where there is an extra level of difficulty.
Of course.
So what you have to be honest with yourself here, dude, is like, yes, it's not going to be that easy, brother. You can't walk down. You can't go to the dining hall, grab a cheesesteak, and then get your dick sucked in a dorm, right? That's over. But you're going to have to put some time in. You're going to have to actually, match with people, location-based apps.
It's work.
Talk to them. Actually get to know them.
Have a personality
in your spare time.
Like, by the way, you do.
Yeah.
Like, it was funny.
Yeah. That was funny.
Let me ask you this, though.
Please.
When you get to a certain age, I don't know how old this guy is. It seems like he's right out of college.
He seems relatively young, mid-20s, let's say.
So, okay, then I think I may have the answer to my question. I guess, what's going on with mid-20s? Are people out just to fuck? I mean, I'm married for a long time, so I can't weigh in on this game.
Sure.
But I mean, what is the vibe like out there? Is he basically going like, hey, are we in a new phase? Are people fucking that much? I read articles say people don't fuck as much as they used to fuck.
That's an interesting question. I mean, so me and Eldis are, we're no spring chickens either. This is 10 years ago. This man's a married man, been in a relationship forever. Exactly 10 years ago, when I was 25, I was a fucking shitty comedian who, yes, I was trying to fuck. I was out in bars at night. I was like, and that seems to be out there. That might be part of the problem with the trucking thing. It's like, yeah, in New York City, no problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In big cities, no problem. If he's matching with somebody in, that's different, right? In other, maybe the middle of the country, or some, I also think mid-20s, you still might be able to eke out getting some, something casual, but people start to settle down in their late 20s and stuff like that. And they're also probably
looking at it like, look, there might be, like, that's why I think the app is good for him, because like, some of these apps are like, no, I'm just straight down to clown. Like, let's just like fuck and be done with it.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
And that's the benefit of those apps. And that's you don't have to figure out where are you at.
For
right?
Sure,
and it's like you're on certain apps to have a relationship, you're on certain apps to fuck.
Yeah.
And you're on certain apps to
Field,
do kinky.
perhaps.
You're like, what's that app that everyone's been talking about? It's like where it's like, oh, I want someone to put a banana up my ass and wear like a dolphin mask. Like,
it might be Field. I don't know.
Oh, is that the Field?
It might be. I don't know.
It's
that
a
one's
kink app.
That one's
like,
kinkier.
Okay,
It might be. Yeah, I think that's the one.
Somebody was talking about but I've talked to a lot of people who come out to LA. Now look, you're right. That may not. There might.
LA,
be
New York's pretty easy. I mean, New York's the best city. I mean, I love this city for many reasons.
Yeah.
The hottest women on earth who are interested, the smartest, most interesting, hottest, who will give up pussy pretty quick. Because nobody here's got time to waste. We got to find out if we like each other, yes or no. I'm not going, you know what I mean? Right. That's the beauty of this town. He's not going to be able to fuck at that pace.
Right.
But
he's going to be coming into, and again, I don't know where his truck stops are, but it's like, you're coming into like outside of Minneapolis, you may have like 4 people on that app.
But also, here's the other thing I'll say. Couple things. He's making a lot of money. Is there anything wrong with like a short-term relationship where you kind of spoil a girl, take her out to nice like you might not be able to offer permanence here because you're in and out, you live a transient lifestyle. You might like, let's say for example, I don't know, I'm going to theoretically pretend I'm a guy with a lot of money that travels a lot for a living.
Right.
And I would, if I were one of these guys, I might have a couple friends in a couple cities, and we might go get a really nice dinner. No one's expecting me to be a serious partner or this theoretical person, a serious. But it's like, if you're a good time, like people like being around, and women who are looking to date somebody casually, go out to a nice dinner, go have an activity.
Schedule. Like you clearly you're driving a truck. You like you said, you probably have routes.
Yeah.
And you can probably pinpoint on those routes. All right, I'm near Chicago. All right, I'm near Dallas.
Right.
Like, and you can kind of like eke out and like, all right, well, next trip maybe what I'll do is I'll stay an extra day. Or
Stay an extra day.
You can
make
afford
plans.
a hotel room. You're making all this money.
Absolutely.
You also could do that kind of plan.
Yeah.
You can also figure out a way to use your situation for good. And also, like, you're going to have to up your interesting game. And that's no offense to this gentleman. He's going to have to figure out, like, how to be that good time guy. Like,
he sounds fun though. He just sounds pussy starved.
Yeah.
You just hear it in his voice. And like, I think you're fine. If you like this job and you're making money, you have to adjust. Like Paul said, take a day off. Don't look for a new job. Maybe work a little less. A little less to give yourself time to be a human being. I can also relate to that. I took this whole year off touring up until I did my first weekend. I did my first weekend in late September. I've been touring for 3 years before that, right? So it's like I knew I needed a little break and like to be a human being. Be a human being. It's not going to be as easy as it used to be, but you don't have to kill yourself. Okay? Just put a little more work into dating.
I also say this, it's like there's something funny about this, and I guess we already said it with the chicken analogy, but it's like this is a guy who is used to going to the fish store, getting his fish, and now you got to go be a fisherman, which is a harder thing.
You got to get a lure, brother.
You got to get a lure. You got to
get some fucking little fucking flies or whatever the fuck. Go fly fishing. And listen, you say you want to fuck lot lizards. We're pro sex worker on this podcast. Maybe is it purely just base? Maybe you could spend a little money and help a small business owner. You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
Right.
Like,
if you just want to get pussy, it's like that's it. Yeah. You're making that much money, it's probably dropping the bucket. Easier than going out to Bennigan's.
Absolutely. Yeah. So there you go. We gave you a lot of options there, buddy. Good luck, pal. We're really helping some people here, Paul.
Really? I mean, really interesting people.
Yeah. Eldest, you got some good stuff for us, man? I see you fumbling over there. You knew we were ending.
Oh, is this the last?
No. I mean, you knew we were running down on the call, and you didn't really have the next one queued up. I mean, we kind of gave you some pretty clear wrapping up this call signs here, buddy.
Hey, Stavvy. Hey, Eldest. Big fan. Listen every week.
Hell yeah, brother.
So I got a question about a friend. He's making music that I don't really like. And he keeps trying to send it to me. I can tell he's really excited about it. It's like experimental rap, basically, but it's really not. It's not up my alley. And it's especially weird because I'm like a radio DJ, and I kind of have the position to help artists out.
Wow.
Sure. And
let's fucking slow down. Pause this for a second.
Did he leave this message in 1977?
Yeah. Do you work with Casey Kasem?
You're breaking some artists on the radio? All right. Got it.
Wow, dude, that's fucking crazy, man. Wow, yeah, you don't want to misuse your sacred position of power. 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 107.7 a.m. Go ahead, Eldest.
Kind of have the position to help artists out.
Sure.
And what he's doing is just not good for what I do. So what would you do? What would you do if Eldest was pushing his album to you and really passionate about it, really believed it was great? How would you handle that situation with one of your good friends?
Oh, interesting.
Let me know. Thanks, Stavvy.
I got a good answer for this.
Please.
I feel like your job as a friend is to support your friend, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, you're a radio DJ, but at the end of the day, you don't want to lose a friend because you don't like their experimental rap music.
Yeah.
This might be a phase. You're not the person to tell them it sucks.
Totally.
Don't be that person.
It's kind of like the relationship thing.
Yeah.
This is kind of as embarrassing as a bad relationship.
And you can say, look, I'm all for lying in this situation. Be like, hey man, I love what you're doing. It's great. I actually shot it up the thing at my radio station. And And they said no. But here's the other thing: would it kill you to play a 2-minute song?
How about this? Find some kind of middle ground, right? A bumper on the way out.
Dude,
you know what
I'm
I mean?
also like, you're playing fucking radio. You go like, do a thing like this. Go like, hey, it's New Music Friday.
Yeah.
I got 3 new songs. You're gonna tell me what you like. Let the audience fucking decide.
Yeah,
you play 3 songs, and then you're not making any choice. You're the supporter of your
You
friend.
know what? I like this because you say New Music Friday, and you're like, give us your thoughts on those songs. Play 2 very good songs and his song.
Yeah, and maybe
right?
you're wrong.
And
by the way,
then maybe you're
wrong.
wrong. Yeah, maybe you're wrong. And if you're not wrong, then oh man,
You've done it.
I gave you your shot. And if you really want to stack the deck, pre-record people shitting on his song.
Yeah.
And that way you're a coward who doesn't ever have to tell him. But yeah.
But I think that like it's such an like it's so easy to be a good friend here. But this is the kind of, and not you, sir.
No,
but,
I don't know. The
yeah.
DJ.
There's a little,
what do you
yeah.
What do you mean you're a radio DJ?
I mean, I
mean, really, what is
radio
that?
DJ.
Unless you're on like a Spanish language program or like I feel like that's
And
those
the
are
way
the biggest.
he's talking about it is as if experimental rap would be something he could play too, which means what kind? Like, because I know that stations are pretty. I mean, first of all,
Right,
Jack
right,
FM,
right.
but it's like they're not like. Oh yeah, we play anything in my hour. It's
Yeah,
like country,
yeah, yeah.
experimental rap. You know, Sabrina Carpenter. But I think that there's something about it. Like you know, it's like He seems to me to be like he wants to tell him it sucks, and that to me is the most problematic thing about it. Like you should be like, dude, it's
now,
great. Don't judge
I
your
know what
friend.
you're saying, but what if it's really fucking dog shit?
Great.
Really
here's
dog shit.
Here's what I'm saying. If I'm hosting a radio show, and I create my new Friday segment, I want some dog shit stuff on there. It's fun for the audience, right? Because it's like the audience will be like, "What the fuck is it?"
Yeah.
You bring them in on it. You don't go like, "Hey, that was Taylor Swift. Now here is 2 Fast 2 Saturdays or whatever it is." It's like, you don't put it in the mix as if it's a hit.
Yes.
Hey, we're always trying to give it an open
some new
arm,
stuff.
and then it's fun as a listener. I'd be like, I love his show. I fucking hate that song, but I love that I get to voice that fucking song sucks.
Yeah. I just would really like to know what his fucking radio like. Do you just have an internet radio show?
I feel like if he's like at a proper radio station or something,
What
I feel
is
like
that?
the DJs don't even really decide.
No,
Though.
it's
You just have to,
programmed.
Yeah, it's all
rotate.
the-
We
like
have friends
10
that do
songs.
this. We have a friend. We have a friend who works at a fucking. We have multiple friends who work at a rock station and a different station.
The PlayStations are set.
They make fun of what they play constantly.
You
they
also-
literally press play on a playlist and like, here comes Shine Down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you can't do shit about that.
And if he's doing something more independent, then do it the other way. But it's like this idea is like, I have a lot of questions about
Our
this.
caller's taking himself too seriously.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think I have a little more empathy for what if my friend does something really dog shit than you do. You know what I mean? Like you're like, even if it sucks, incredible dick, put it on the air. I would like to hear it. I mean, look, Eldest literally did used to make beats, and he still does sometimes, but they're good. We used one of his beats at the end of my first special. Eldest actually did something good. I remember being like, this is good, but I was just like, it's funny for me being like, I don't know, man. I would pick a more solid career, and I'm doing comedy, and I'm like, don't be a hip hop producer. But it's like, but I luckily none of my friends are as untalented as your fucking dumb dickhead friend. But
here's what I'll say though, to your point. Yeah, I think you're right. I think
there's a line where it's like,
I think that notes, and this is what I think people have the biggest problem with in life. Notes need to meet people where they're at. Right, and it's sort of like, I'll go in sometimes, and they'll be, "Hey, we need notes on this movie." You can see the movie's done, and I always go like this. I go, "What are you looking for?"
Right,
and they're like, we need to add a scene, or we are looking for a punch up for this one thing. And then I go, well, "How about this scene? How about this?" I don't go, "Well, the movie fucking sucks," right? Like, because it's not
right.
I remember one time I saw a movie. A friend of a friend who did it. It was a big director. It was a big movie. And he goes, "What do you think of the movie?" "It's done." it's locked.
Right.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like there's no, I can't help you at this point.
Right.
You know, and it's
right,
and then there's some people who are like, hey, I want to send you a script. Okay, great. I'll read that script. Am I going to get in there and fucking give them every note in the world? First of all, and this is all with the caveat thing, I could be wrong. My taste could be off.
Sure.
You know, I could be, and and that's the other thing. I never want to be that person. I can't tell you definitively this is right or wrong.
Of course.
That's sensibility, that's taste, that's
Yep,
whatever.
yep.
It may not be your taste. But meet people where the notes are. If this is your buddy, is he really going to start making beats? Is he really going to get at this job?
Right.
And you got to recognize that and go, like, probably not. But he wants to hear it played.
Play it in your car, man.
Right? Yeah. It's just
Put the aux. Let him hear it in the subwoofer. That'll do it for him, man.
Yeah. You just got to meet people where their notes are.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Like, you know, because it's like I think that a lot of people take it on themselves to be like, I got to fix it. But you also have to realize, A, you aren't the end all be all.
Yep.
And just know what, like, this is not a person asking you to be a producer. This is a friend.
Yeah, he's not asking. Yes. Yeah, that's a good
friend
point.
Is making beats.
And maybe, and we know you hate it clearly, but maybe in terms of the meet them where they're at, is there an element you like? What's your favorite part? Is there a sample that you liked? Is there like a modulation of his voice? Can you be like, oh, I like the direction this is taking? Like, yeah, you're fine, dude. Don't take yourself so fucking. Watch this be like the only thriving DJ. But I don't know. I don't even know who that is. Yeah, it's like it's all like morning show people.
I feel like this guy might be in college and he has a radio. Like, but
That
do
feels.
people listen to college radio? I don't even know.
I think they might still.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Even if they're just kind of cosplaying, like radio, it's almost like a retro thing.
I mean, well, by the way, you'll find out right away how many people are listening when you play the Friday New Music Day and see how many people call in or write.
Yeah.
You'll get
what are your numbers, pal?
I had a college radio show. It'd be like 5 people listening.
Yeah,
at a time.
Pussy Hawk Live. I remember I would call in. Wow, look how the tables have turned, Eldis. You used to run the radio show.
Hey man, I'm still behind the board.
That's true, actually. You're that really was kind of our relationship. I would call in and shit on you on your own show. It was awesome.
Well, let me ask you this: what would you do?
I think like in a situation like this, I would say I would keep it positive, pick an element that you like. I think it's also a situation like this because there can be sometimes when like someone just like sends you a link or sends you like every single new thing. I'd be like, hey man, this is pretty good. Are you like trying to get this out there? Are you posting this online? I would like push them, like, you know, try to find other people who like would like this and listen to this and like not just sending me like every single new thing.
Well,
but
that's
think about how to like, you know, broadcast this to like more people. Because there are, even if it is like, even if he thinks it's shit or even if it's like bad or whatever, there is people out there who will like it.
That's a good point.
You know, I remember this is a thing that Larry David said that I always think about. So I come to you and I'm like, hey, I'm up for this job. Can you put a good word in for me?
Right.
Now, you know I'm a piece of shit. I'm not going to do a good job.
Yeah.
But you're like, you know what? I have to do the due diligence. So you can say, hey, Eldis, Paul asked me to put in a good word for him for the job.
Right.
That's all you're saying.
Yeah. You're not like, that's not like Paul's the best.
Yeah.
He's awesome. You're Eldest. You gotta get Paul. Just so you know, Paul asked me.
Paul asked me.
And then look at
It's like, you've done.
You've done what he asked.
Oh yeah, I told those. I told him I put in a good word for you, and you can decide on your own. You're neither building up nor taking down.
Yeah.
I'm relaying the message.
Yeah.
That Paul.
I think I remember that episode, and then because it's with his friend.
No.
Richard Lewis. He's like, hey, this guy asked me to put in a good word, and Richard Lewis is like, okay, cool. And then he's like, what the fuck? I hired that guy. He sucks. He was like, you gave him a good word. He's like, well, I just told you he asked me. And then it was great. Actually, look that up on YouTube. It's better than this show. Yes. And finally, I think you're right, Eldis, in that there is a market for everything on the internet. And so, hey, if you're some high-powered radio DJ that understands the industry, you could give him constructive. Like, look, if I had somebody I knew from Baltimore that's like, what do I do? I want to get into stand-up. don't do it, obviously. But like, if someone was even a little more established, and even if their stuff wasn't my favorite, I could be like, here's what I did that really helped my career. Consistency, do this, this, and this, and then the ball's in your court. If you're some radio DJ that's like, tell them, hey man, these are the types of tracks we're looking for. This, keep it under this. You know what I mean? Give them vague like.
I mean,
you know,
the way I think about it though too is like, it really taste is subjective. Like I remember there were so many people shitting on blue collar comedy.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And then I would be like, well, but do you think that those people that are filling stadiums aren't liking it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like, you know, like they're not there because they feel like, I gotta go. It's like, no, they enjoy it.
Having a good time.
You don't enjoy it.
Right.
And that's okay.
Some shit's not for you.
Right. And it's sort of like, so that's why it's always tricky to be an arbiter of anything.
Yeah.
Like there's music that I like. Like, I appreciate Future. I'm not the biggest Future fan.
Right.
But I'm not like popping on Future.
That's because you haven't had enough bad toxic relationships. That's because you don't mistreat women, Paul.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, but like, clearly,
I got you.
I go on iTunes today. Every song, every number one, every like the first 10 songs are Future.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's all. It's just like, I just think it's like important to be like, no one is the judge of what can work and what can't work. Because like this guy could go. Imagine in 2 years, this guy goes off and just fucking blows up and be like, "You didn't believe in me." Then that's the worst place you'd want to be in.
He can take that L, I think.
Yeah.
The odds were against him. You're too positive about this random SoundCloud rapper. I think is what it comes out of. You're too good a guy. I gotta be honest. The guy probably sucks, but so does the caller.
I just want to hear the song. Get it out in the world.
We're the yin and yang of this call. You got something nice for us to go out on here, little buddy?
Hey, nice question. Just calling in as kind of a victory lap.
Okay.
So I've been watching your show for a while, and I've been kind of nervous just in general about like talking to girls and like, I don't know, making a move.
Of course.
I'm in college. I met a girl in one of my classes, and we hit it off. I read everything right.
Wow.
I was confident. I just believed in myself.
Yes.
And we fucked.
Yeah.
So, thanks, Tom. I feel like a new man. Hell yeah.
Wow.
I
love to hear that, man.
I love a check-in. I love a check-in.
Because we're trying to save young men from inceldom on this podcast.
Yeah.
I try and show if I can do it, you can do it. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing. I think what was really nice about that is like, I met a girl, we hit it off, and I read everything right. Like, it doesn't seem like I followed her around.
Right,
grocery store.
Right.
Everything about it feels like, this is the way it could go.
And he's admitting, I've been kind of nervous to talk to girls, making a move. We've all been there. We've said that before. You have to fail sometimes. You have to make some moves. You have to be nervous. Overcoming your nerves, you will be that much better off the next time. And this applies in everything, not just dating. Anytime shit makes you nervous, that's good. You fight through that, and then you're better off for it. So, very happy for you, little buddy.
And I think what I also like about it, if you're trying to combat incel behavior, we didn't get into the details of how the fuck was.
Right,
This is very respectful. We had a girl,
it was
met
way
out,
more.
we fucked. I feel great.
Yeah,
thanks so much. Peace. Like, that's all I need to hear too. Like, we don't need to get in the nitty gritty.
That makes me feel good. Yes,
that's a good person.
I love this kid. I love this guy.
Also, college people coming in with some deeper voice. It doesn't sound like a college kid to me.
I know. Let's get a little snippet again, Elders. Just to hear what he sounded like.
Hey, nice question. Just calling in.
Yeah, he's got a little.
Right? I don't think he's 19.
No. But I like it. All right, you can stop. It's all good, man. Wow, that's great. I love it. I love helping call. I want our callers to be better off than you and I were, Eldis. We've said this before. We were fucking cowards in college. I wish I had a man much fatter than me telling me even he fucked, so that, no joke, this would help me. If there was a fat, bald version of me giving a
hard,
show.
but you know what? But here's the
because
thing.
we were no
and
women were
and
interested
it
in
wouldn't
us.
have taken much. So
No.
good.
But
Just a little shove in the right direction.
It's like I was nervous. Like the thing is like it also is. I think you don't have to be suave. You don't have to be like James Bond or coming in like fucking like Donald
For
Glover
sure.
or something like that. You can just come in, just not as a creepo,
Not a creep, nice,
and just nice, friendly.
and don't take it personal if it doesn't work out.
Because it's like, don't jump to, are we gonna fuck in this first moment?
Right,
like,
right,
just
right,
be like,
right.
hey,
I like you.
This is.
Are you cool? Can we get to know each other?
Like, even just like be like, we are interacting in a way that's non-threatening.
Yeah, yeah.
You'll see, and you can see, you can go, and you may misread things and whatever, but I think people are pretty clear now.
Yeah, and we're happy for you, and we love to hear that. Let that be a lesson to everybody. Just believe in yourself. Be nice. Don't be a creep. We're happy this worked out for you, pal. But if it hadn't, you should have kept this positive attitude and on to the next situation. And we encourage call-ins like this, folks. And we'll go out there. In fact, I'll tell you, if you're a loser right now who's getting absolutely no top whatsoever in college, go report back to us of one interaction that you didn't connect, because you gotta fail in order to win.
I want to hear it, but when you do, give us some details. Not just I want to talk to this girl, she wasn't into it.
Yeah.
No. We gotta see the approach. We gotta
absolutely. And then and know that by getting rejected, you're closer to finding someone that actually wants you.
I want to throw down another thing, which is like I would like to see the same moves. One rejected, one accepted, because I think that's the trick. People think they have to change up. No, you don't have to be anything different.
You just have to be yourself and put yourself out there.
Just go back up at bat.
Yep. Wow, that feels good. And finally, I think we're going to really close the episode. We never got the answer. How old were you the first time you beat off to the internet?
Oh, finally. Get back
because we moved on. You had another good anecdote.
Oh, you know what? Here it is.
Yeah.
I do believe it was still in high school, but I remember what it was because it was AOL.
Okay.
You'd go on message boards and they were swapping heads so it was like a famous face on a body, but it would come in like ding, 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 ding.
Of course, yeah.
And you didn't know what you're going to get until the whole thing came down. I do remember that. Remember.
So it's a Photoshop of a famous person?
They got a real naked body, it was like, Photoshop. Yeah, it was the beginning stages of that where it looked kind of, at
the time, believe me.
I'm like, that's Cindy Crawford.
The amount of Britney Spears fake heads on Playboy that I beat off to when I was like, 15 or whatever.
So I think that was, I remember like waiting for that.
In the chat room.
And then it went up a little bit. Yeah, it was like, there were people like was sharing JPEGs.
Sure.
But then it also
took a while.
It was a lot of money because it was like you were connecting on dial-up.
A lot of that CD-ROM was going
Got to get in, get out.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, that is truly feeling old, is like having the CDs that were essentially like internet time.
Yeah.
It was like this CD had 500 hours on it. And it's like, man.
You got to figure out how to get another credit card to associate with the new account. Oh, my God.
Our Zoomer listeners will have no idea what that's like. You hear that, kids? The ways we used to beat off, you wouldn't believe what we went through. Air fresheners and JPEGs. Ugh. Letting Kazaa download overnight because it took a whole night to get a video. LimeWire. Oh, you motherfuckers have it so easy. But we're here for you in the real world, just like our friend here. Shout out to him, Paul. Dude, thank you so much for coming.
Dude, the best.
This was so fun. Anytime you're in New York, you want to do the show,
I love
you let us know. We'd love,
I love it.
We'd love to have you back on. So, guys, go get the book. Read it, listen to it, whatever you want to do.
Ebooks, audiobooks, whatever. It's great.
And go see Paul on the road if he's coming to your city. And come see our movie, Let's Start a Cult. I think it's coming out pretty soon.
I can't wait for that.
Thank you, man. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.